man, just love when you start a video with sound effects. It's my biggest pet peeve about having a lapel right next to my esophagus, is the fact that if you hear me swallow, you can just hear the sounds. It's very annoying. You know, outside of the umming and erring and casual, you know, swear words, which I'd never censor, because, fuck it, who cares? Anyway, it's another week. Got more mail. Some of it, it's a weirder one. I do have some more stuff coming in the week, so I'll be adding that to this video. We'll see how that goes. But we'll start off with a really, really interesting one that I'm yet to watch, and I'm so thankful that I finally have a copy. A Bay of Blood, the Mario Bava classic, one of the most, I think, famous slasher films outside of the US, basically the one that like started a lot of the, you know, genre and whatever. A huge influence on the 80s slasher films. This is from 1971. It's the Kino Classics one, mastered in HD from the 35mm negative for the English language version. Of course, my preference would be the Italian one, but, you know, it is what it is. However, it does actually have the alternate European release version, Italian with optional English subtitles, but apparently it's not the best transfer. I think our video had the exact same things that are basically like the same transfer, but I think that had a few more special features, including an interview with Edgar Wright and another one. But they both share the same commentary of the audio commentary by Tim Lucas, the author of Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark, as well as theatrical trailer and other theatrical stuff. So, not bad. I did get it for $80, which is a lot for a film. It's Region A. So that's not fantastic. There's a bit of a wear on it. I don't know if it'll show. There's a dent in the front. It was from Play Music DVD. I was there for like 45 minutes, almost an hour, and it was the first thing I actually found, and I went looking for anything that might have had work that Lee had done, which I couldn't find anything, which is fine, you know, perfectly normal. There were actually some extra copies of films that I found that Lee had done works on, which was interesting, including some with essays, but I was like, well, I already have these, so I don't need to worry about it. And $80 I know is a lot, but I compared with eBay prices, and because this is out of print, this came out in like, what, 2011, I think? 2013. I think the Arrow video came out in 2011. Either way, both super out of print, very hard to get. So for $80, it's a lot, but I'm also like, I haven't actually bought any movies for a long time. I guess bar the fact that, you know, I had bought some that should show up later in this video, actually, that are David Lynch related, but that was kind of for its own purposes. So yeah, you know, a rare find, so I figured, why not? The fact that I just don't have it, it just fills the collection more. And there's just never been a restoration, but there's also the rights held by someone, and the person's really bitchy about it. So I had enough time to do the research to find out that this was basically the best version I could find at the time. It'll do. From Amazon, we got X, which unfortunately didn't come with a slipcover, which I would have preferred only because I have the Pearl release from the US, same as this, with the slipcover. I actually already have the UK version, which I'm going to give to a friend for his birthday. Don't tell anyone. I only got this because, outside of, oh look, digital code, if you want it, if it hasn't already expired, you're welcome to take it, go for it. I don't need these things. Not to mention I'm in Australia, so none of this shit means anything to me. It's probably expired though. It says, may not be valid after the 5th of the 24th, 23, which I believe is the 24th of May 2023, so it's probably expired. Not to mention the Americans just don't know how to do date organization. What's up with that? You know, DVD, Blu-ray, that's fine. It's not much difference to what I already had. This one just doesn't feature, apparently. I think like it might, because it says the X Factor feature in the Farmer's Daughter's extended scene, but the British version does feature a time-lapse shot of doing the makeup for Pearl. But I mostly wanted it, hopefully for the slipcover, but actually, obviously that didn't happen, but just to have the two aligned of X and Pearl. Debatably, I get Maxine on Blu-ray eventually. Do I get the US version? Do I get the Australian version? The fact that we have an Australian version is enough to say, because we never got a Blu-ray of this in Australia. Hence, I got the UK version. Never watched it. But yeah, I had to get this. Basically, it was $15, and it allowed for me to buy this without paying like almost $20 for shipping. I think, yeah, X was $10 to $15. It was cheap, like really fucking cheap. So that's why I was like, well, that's okay, because I really want this. And this is The Crime of the Century, which is my second last currently release that Lee worked on that I didn't have. It's the Kino Lorber. It comes with his audio commentary as well as the audio commentary with costume historian Alyssa Rose. So they did one together because they did a lot together. So this one is what I really wanted, and I'd ordered from Amazon back in late December. Actually, no, I ordered it back at the start of December from a third-party person to get it for like $50, which sucks as it was, but it was the only way to get it. And it never showed up. And because it was a third-party sale, they're like, oh, it's expected by this date in the first couple of days of January. It didn't show up. They knew that. They were like, okay, look, if it hasn't come in by the 7th, even though I was in Tassie at the time, if it hasn't come in by the 7th, on the 8th, let us know and we'll refund you. And it hadn't come in by the 8th because I was in contact with my parents who live here still, of course. And they had said, no, it hasn't come in, whatever. So I let Amazon know, got the refund immediately. And bought this because they only had one copy left and to get the free shipping, but basically to not have to pay $20 for shipping for some fucking reason, I bought X with it. So it just seemed like the easier option. 2 birds, 1 stone, and I have this. This is what I wanted. X was just a bonus, whatever. So, yeah. I mean, the fact that I gotten that money back and I was basically just paying $10 to $12 for X was like, that's fine, that'll do, whatever. I think I was paying actually a little bit more. Yeah, probably a little bit more, but still, than what I'd already spent initially. The math works out 50 odd for the first one, got that money back, ended up paying $63 or $4. So, yeah, I got hoodwinked. This is a rare one, apparently. I never had this. I had a bootleg DVD growing up. Never, we watched it a lot as kids because we loved this movie. It was hilarious. But this does come with 5 deleted and extended scenes, Critters Have Feelings music video, How to Make an Animated Film, commentary of the filmmaker, and theatrical trailer. It's the Australian release. It says all the details there. Basically, my girlfriend wanted this. She was just like, I want to watch Hoodwinked. Do you have a copy? And I didn't. And it was, to rent it was like, $5 to $10 to rent it, so I'm like, well, I can just buy a DVD because the Blu-ray is well out of print, and I got this for $18. I debated getting a 2-pack, which had the second one, but I couldn't tell of its authenticity, and then I looked into the second one. I was like, oh, I could get that on Blu-ray for cheaper and get this on DVD for cheaper if I bought them separately. Then I heard that the second one was a piece of shit, and it was also on Stan, which I have Stan currently. My parents have an account, so I was like, well, if we watch this and we want to watch the second one, at least it's on Stan, so we don't have to pay the extra $6 to $8 to buy a Blu-ray of it. So yeah, obviously would have preferred a Blu-ray, but because it's animated, but it is what it is. These next 3 are 2 I bought a couple of years ago, and the other one, I didn't even know we had it. It's just suddenly appeared in this room like, I don't know, I was going to say some mystical thing, but like a unicorn. I don't fucking know. Anyway, the first one is this. This is the War Collection Volume 1 with The Dam Busters, The Cruel Sea, and The Cold It Story. These are, I believe, British thrillers, British war films. Studio Canal did Blu-ray releases of them all, whatever. I actually bought these for my grandfather, who had passed away last year, and my nan gave them to my uncle because she was getting rid of a bunch of past DVDs. She still has a lot of DVDs, which is great. And yes, and she had given me back one of them, which actually she gave my dad one of them, which was They Shall Not Grow Old, which was a Blu-ray. Dad was like, oh, I want to watch this because I haven't seen it yet. And I'd bought it for Pa. My dad didn't know that. So when it suddenly appeared here last year, I was like, wait, how did that get here? Explanation ensued. We talked to Nan about it. She realised that, oh, well, which ones did you give, which other ones did you give to Pa? And I mentioned this one because I remembered having given him this. And Stephen had a copy. That's my uncle. So, yeah. So this also comes with, Dam Busters comes with an exclusive documentary called Dam Busters 617 Squadron Remember. Then the Cruel Sea comes with an interview of Sir Donald Sinden and behind-the-scenes gallery, and the Cold It Story comes with a 53-minute-long documentary looking into it all, plus a restoration comparison. So it's not bad, again, 3 discs. They're dual-layered DVDs, so again, I bought them for my grandfather. I wasn't buying top-quality stuff. I just wanted a DVD set of movies, because I think they had a Blu-ray player, but for the most part, I was buying DVDs for them just to make it easier. But yeah, so because, well, he obviously doesn't need it anymore, so I guess I have it now. I don't have any of these furry films, so that's good. I say that because I now have Classic World War II collection. Yeah, I'm not going to keep this. I guess Dad can have it, realistically. This comes with From Here to Eternity, The Bridge on the River Kwai, The Guns of Navarone, Dust Boot, the director's cut, and Fury. I like how it has posters on the back. This was another one that I got for Pa. And I already have all of these separately. Actually, technically, I actually only have 3 of the 5. I don't actually have Dust Boot or Fury. My dad owns the copies of them on Blu-ray. So I could technically keep this. Or I could just give it to Dad and I could take those ones with me. But I don't know if he'd be picky about that. So it's all the same kind of ordeal and whatever. So it's nice to have it. Oh, the Dust Boot is actually a 2-disc. That's cool. I did not know that. That's really nice. I imagine because it's 216 minutes long, so it's 2 discs because it's 2 parts of the film. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, this was one that I'm pretty sure either... You know, I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I bought this for Pa. I think Dad did. I think Dad bought it the same time that I bought the Dam Busters, so I actually think that this is Dad's. But yeah, I know I bought the War Collection Volume 1. I'm pretty sure Dad bought this for Pa. And to be fair, it was a good price. It was down to like $20 or something. And it was like 5 films. So that was pretty good. Now this is a strange one. I don't actually know what this is, so I'm assuming it's now Dad's. I don't know where he got it from. The Great War Collection, 1914 to 1918. From the battles of Ypres, or I don't know how to pronounce it, it's French probably, through to the Treaty of Versailles, relive the horror of World War I on DVD, plus unique memorabilia from the National Archives recreated from original materials. Oh my god, original materials? So it seems to be a 4-part documentary? I don't even know. It's 3 3/4 of hours of runtime. Curious. It's definitely got some age inside the box. Holy shit. This is a very old... How old is this? Oh, 2013. Oh, that was 10 years ago. Well, 12, my god. So it comes with a fold-out, whole ordeal. So there's your memorabilia, and you get the 3 DVDs. So, oh, wow. Dad does like these DVDs as well, the history docos. He's always watching history docos. And probably would have bought these for Pa if he didn't already have them for himself. So, I don't know. There you go. I just have this now. It's not mine, it's Dad's. There's no way I'm keeping this kind of stuff. I have enough documentaries on my own that I have not even watched yet. One that's a really, really well-documented documentary that I don't even know where the hell it is anymore. It's on one of these shelves. Yeah, anyway, what else did we get? Oh, I told you there was going to be more. We start with The Book of Bill. This is the hardcover version. A friend of mine works at a bookstore and was able to get this for me. Annoyingly, it just took forever to get around to actually getting it, because by the time she had placed an order, they had to wait for the stock to come in, and then they got an overload of stock because so many people ordered and half the people didn't show up and pick them up. So, either way, if you're a Gravity Falls fan, I suggest this. I actually haven't even looked into it myself, so there's a lot to dive into, but I won't spoil it just in case you're actually wanting to read it, if you are even a fan of this. I know it's a children's cartoon, but it's a hell of a good one. A lot of the good ones are, aren't they? I mean, I'd say children's cartoon, but you look at some and they're really dumb, and then you look at something like Gravity Falls and they're really fun, so it's like, ugh. Anyway, what else did we get? From the eBays, I got Lake Michigan Monster. I got this for $30 with the slipcover, which is really nice because it meant that I could, do that. The star of this movie, who I believe is also the director, worked on Hundreds of Beavers. And I was debating getting the, importing it, whatever. And it even comes with a little booklet, which is cool. So that's always fun. Alternate artwork, of course, which is on the slipcover. But no, I just found it on eBay. Someone was bidding on it. It was up to $20 at the time. And I was like, you know what? Then tomorrow, let's give it a hoot and a hole and see what happens. And lo and behold, I got the final, I bid in $30, up to $30. And the person who bid against me only bid up to $30 as well. But they did it after me, so I won it. Hooray. I hate doing it at work because it had to be. It was like 11:58 a.m. Anyway, Came in the next day, which is insane. Comes with a slew of special features, so I'm very keen to finally dive into it. I didn't even know about this movie till like this year, so yeah, keen to check it out. I loved Hundreds of Beavers, so I can only assume it'll be probably not the same caliber, but similar in that kind of cartoonish but cheap, but fun cheap kind of way. Anyway, JB had a sale, and I had already bought a couple things over the past 2 weeks. If you saw my one of my previous hauls, or even my Tassie video, well, the one I said where I went to JB, whatever, I was able to get those discounted, baby. So that was like $26.98 plus $9.98, 20% off. So that was great. So I got Galaxy Quest on 4K. Of course, it's the Australian version. No Blu-ray disc, which is fine, because to my knowledge, all the special features are the same as the Blu-ray disc. Obviously, I'd prefer to have the juxtaposition. I already have the Blu-ray and the DVD. Grew up with this film, so I've always had the DVD. I've had the Blu-ray now for a couple of years, because I got it for like $10, and now I got this kind of as a freebie. I don't know, technically, but either way. Yeah, I prefer the artwork on this one. The other one is awful. It has like the big green monsters here, and it has the big PG sticker right in the front of their face. So, I mean, this time it just disguises the ship, which is still annoying, but at least the artwork is nicer. Anyway, I've heard that the 4K restoration looks incredible, and it's got a new Dolby Atmos track as well, so I'm keen to dive into it. I also picked up, because they had it there for $60, the Erotic Ghost Trilogy, which is a trilogy of 3 Hong Kong films, and I like my ghost films, to put it simply, but sure, a little bit of eroticism doesn't hurt anyone. I mean, we all gotta be honest here, sometimes it's just nice. So, yeah, I looked up some reviews to kind of get an idea, because I know some people who really like Asian cinema, and one of them in particular was actually surprised by how little an amount of eroticism there is. It's like, I think he'd seen only the first one, because that's the 88 films one that had come out, and he was like, it's an interesting film. It's curious that like the only real erotic part happens right in the middle, and then the rest of it's just regular horror stuff. So I'm like, sure. I mean, there's 3 of them, which I know that Eureka, is it? 88 Films, sorry, is doing a trilogy set. But this one comes with an extra documentary, so I want to get this one instead. So you get the first one, Erotic Ghost Story. There's no alternate artwork, but there is inside artwork, which is nice, so you get some special features, a new commentary track, alternate Mandarin language version, which is longer by 3 minutes, I believe. It is strange that it doesn't actually stipulate how much longer it is here, but that's fine. It's an hour and a half. I think it's like an hour and 34. From erotic to extreme, costume drama meets Category 3 interview with film historian Paul Fonaroff at an image gallery. And of course, potential nudity on the inside of the cover. It's very spa, so it's not really nudity, but I imagine in the scene there is nudity. There is, of course, the card, so if you wanted to pause it and read it and whatever. The third one does come with the documentary, which is what I found to be the most... I really want to watch that, so I kind of want to watch the trilogy and then watch that, because it's one of those things where it does contextualize the films themselves. Again, this one comes with a commentary, alternate Mandarin language version, which is shorter this time. The Demon of Lust Strikes Back, which is an interview with the art director and the assistant art director, and Love and Lust interview with writer and producer Casey Chan. So, that's not bad. They're all pretty different in terms of, I think there's no relation to the actual story, it's just, I think there's like 5 of these films. My mate Marcy has, to my knowledge, all 5 of them on DVD, so... Or at least I know that she knows of a DVD set that was 5 films. Either way. This one is the, again, audio commentary, alternate Mandarin language version, which I think, again, is also shorter. Return of the assistant art director. And Cantonese Carnage interview with Rick Baker. Interesting. And, of course, Category 3, The Untold Story of Hong Kong Exploitation Cinema documentary. So that one, yeah. That one I'm really excited for. So, that was the reason I bought it over the 88 Films version, because I'm like, well, look, $60 for 3 films and a documentary and a buttload of, interviews and stuff. And also I can get it locally, it's already out, supports, the local industry, whatever, imprint, gotta love it. And, yeah, I figured, fuck it, I might as well just buy it now, and don't have to stress about that. And of course it comes in a nice hard case set, traditional to, imprint, and of course it's their imprint Asia line. So, yeah, number 10, 11, and 12. Pretty good. I got Bloody Birthday. This one is so far the last one that I need to collect. There's technically 3 exceptions, but again, I'll mention that in the other video, so don't worry about it. But we got Bloody Birthday from Arrow Video. This is the alternate artwork. Of course, you get the main artwork there, and you do get the booklet, which has the essay, Born Under a Bad Moon, Children of the Revolution, Bloody Birthday. In Bloody Birthday by Lee Gambin. So that's the one I wanted. I had to go onto Facebook and post into different groups and respond to different people to see if anyone had it with the booklet, and someone messaged me saying, hey, I think I have it with the booklet. Are you still looking for it? And I said yes, and they went and they checked and they found it in their storage unit. So it's got that like secondhand nature, but at the same time, I wanted the booklet. If this doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I just wanted the booklet. Because I can just always buy the film again. It doesn't really matter. But it is all regions, which is nice. I wasn't expecting that because it was a US exclusive. Now, to conclude this one, obviously I'm wearing my Twin Peaks shirt. I actually wear this to work. So that's nice. So, hooray. So as of recording, it's been almost a week since David Lynch passed away. And to my knowledge, I haven't made a video on it. I haven't talked about it. He was my favorite director, simply put. I have all of his feature-length films in his own collection, but I wanted to buy some extra stuff because there's still so much I don't have, and they're becoming harder to find. So someone had Dumbland for $80. I wasn't going to buy that, so instead I bought this second-hand, but DVD set of the David Lynch collection with the slip, which definitely doesn't feel like the slip should be on it because it slides out so easily. I feel like there's meant to be a booklet or something, but it doesn't emphasize a booklet. However, of course, you know, it's got like his autograph written there and everything, even though it's of course printed on. So this comes with a Razorhead with a bunch of special features, including the making of thingy, which is just him talking for 85 minutes. I've already got that on the Criterion release, plus the David Lynch short film collection, 6 short films featuring 6 men getting sick, the alphabet, the grandmother, the amputee, the cowboy and the Frenchman, and Lumiere. To my knowledge, the only one I don't currently own is the cowboy and the Frenchman, but it could be on one of the other Criterions. Lynch 1, which is a compilation of 2 years of footage with a bunch of extra special features as well, that total 82 extra minutes outside of the 120-minute long documentary. Dynamic 1, which is the recent series of shorts written, directed, and edited and scored by Lynch, exclusively available on davidlynch.com, which is 112 minutes long, and Dumbland, which is 34 minutes long, which is a little cartoon. I've seen Dumbland before on the Criterion channel, and a bunch of these shorts are all on YouTube anyway. Some of these documentaries are on YouTube. Most of them are on other releases, like Inland Empire and even the standard version, and I think the Criterion as well have Lynch 1, and I think the Criterion has Lynch 2. And of course the Eraserhead Criterion has Eraserhead, and Lynch talking about Eraserhead, it's called Eraserhead Stories, plus most of those short films that he did prior to Eraserhead, but I believe it has the Lumiere one as well. So of course you've got the short films, Dynamic 1, Eraserhead on its own disc, which is upside down. They did note, the seller said that the Eraserhead disc basically doesn't work properly, like it faults in the middle, but I don't care, I've got a DVD copy already, plus I have the Criterion. My DVD copy was from Japan. Then you got Lynch 1 and Dumbland. Now, Dumbland's the only really important one to this set, but I figured I'd spend $70 on this set rather than $80 on just Dumbland. So, to get them all, really nice. I'm pretty sure there are some shorts here that I don't have, and I'll have to watch them separately, mostly once I'm currently watching for all of his work, so I'll get to them when I get to them. But yeah, it's mostly the factor of having all the extra special features as well is quite a nice thing. Yeah, so if you want any technical specs, if you're looking for this set, there you go. But yeah, so it has all the details there. So I got to find room for it now on the shelf, which is great. It might mean I'll just bury some of the extra duplicates like I've got for Lost Highway and Dune, so that's fine. This should fit though next to the Eraserhead DVD. But just when you're thinking, but that's all he got David Lynch-wise. No, actually, I've ordered some more from Rare Waves, a bunch of CDs and soundtracks. I was going to buy Dune on 4K, which is the only reason I went onto Rare Waves, and they do have Dune on 4K there. This is, of course, David Lynch's film, because my 4K for it, the 4K disc doesn't work properly. You get 42 minutes in, it stops playing. I changed to a different player, and I got 10 more minutes in later, and then it stopped playing altogether. So that sucks, but the Blu-ray disc is there, and the Blu-ray transfer looks almost identical, because it's the 4K scan, but just, the restoration, but just not the HDR grading. And to be honest, I didn't notice much difference, so I'm content, and I don't care that much for the film anyway. However, someone was selling for about $115 all of these. I think I got $10 off because I found a voucher. We got Twin Peaks, the original soundtrack. These are all secondhand copies, so they're pretty worn, but the discs themselves look fine. I think it's just however they stock them or stack them at their home. We got Fire Walk With Me. All of these come with inserts that show characters and everything, which is great. Gotta love it. We got Wild at Heart. And yeah, I know, I didn't already have these, which is crazy. I've streamed a couple of them before, but I love how this has the Cage's version of Love Me Tender, which was very, very good. This one, which I'm going to give to a friend, Lost Highway, because I already have Lost Highway. It was just the cheaper way to get this whole entire set was to buy it. I think I spent like $35 to get Lost Highway a couple of years ago, which isn't bad, it's a good set. But got Mulholland Drive as well, which is the really hard one to get. That one's worth about $80 odd. So it's just nice to have them. I have already ordered Blue Velvet and Lynch's 3 albums that he did. I think he might have done more, but yeah, he did one last year, plus 2 others over the past couple of years. And they're very weird, like Crazy Clown Time and stuff like that, so I want to have them, at least so I've ordered them, and they'll come in a couple of weeks. So, yeah. But this is just a nice way to cement everything that I have, and also most of it's Angelo Badalamenti's music, and his music is fucking divine, so you can't go wrong. Some of this, of course, is still soundtrack, not just score, so yeah, my annoyance is the fact that the Twin Peaks Season 2 music is hard to find, and the Returns music is also really hard to find. I have to import those, and they're expensive, so yeah, I'm going to have to find them elsewhere. But for now, I've got these, and that's good enough. So, yeah. Screw it. We're going to add more, because JB still got the sale on, and I went to pick up one film, which I'm going to show last, because it's the sauciest one. JB's having a big, not a big sale, but like they've basically reduced the clear ones. So I was able to get Days of Thunder on 4K. It was $17, or was it $15? I got it for $11 in the end because it was 20% off as well. There's not much in terms of special features, and it's just a 4K disc by itself. It just has Filmmaker Focus, Days of Thunder. But I'm like, look, Tony Scott, what's her face? Nicole Kidman's in it. She's great. It's got a good fucking cast in general. Tom Cruise, whatever. I don't know. It was one I've been eyeballing for a couple years, and I just figured, yeah, sure. I got it for $11. It's a fucking steal. Surprisingly, this one was more expensive. I think this was the one that was 17 down to 13. The other one was like 15 down to 11. This is Mr. Holmes. It's the Vivision release. It comes with a couple special features as well. What is it? Icon featurette, story featurette, and theatrical trailer. So not a lot, but I don't know, it's fine, for a very basic standard release. I haven't seen the film, but I do like Sherlock Holmes, which might thematically... Oh, wow, is that Elementary? Anyway, I can't believe it's the same image on all 4 sides, except for the back, which obviously just shows the whole show with all its special features. Yeah, this was $75 down to $60, because it was already like a $140 set down to $75, and then I got the extra 20% off, so I got $15 off. Obviously, it's your standard, fare. Let me try to open it. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not in the best of nick. Again, this was regular retail, got them all, whatever. Absolutely every single one of them on the inside was damaged. They either had bits and pieces falling out because of where you press in your discs, or the extra trays were snapped off, so I had to sticky tape them all together. It was pretty fucking awful. The last season only had 1 disc pop out, which was the first disc, because 3 of the 6 pegs had broken off, so I tried taping them back together. Not successfully, but I tried. I basically just have to be very careful when I try to watch it, but it is a DVD. I watched the first 3 or 4 seasons when they initially aired, but then I think, in all reality, we moved, and then I just didn't have, free-to-air on my TV anymore, so I didn't watch the show. I got, caught up with life. I think I either was like went to uni or I just had, you know, the end of my high school days, so I wasn't like in the mood for it. So I never finished it, and I was like, you know what, $60 for the whole show, I'll take it. That's a steal. All of these have been steals. And last but not least, I got the Substance. I had to get the Substance. This is the Madman version with its beautiful glossy slipcover with the activator image, the image of Demi Moore, and of course Margaret Qualley. There's actually a whole spine that's just blank, which is kind of hilarious. I feel like that's a big misnomer. They should have definitely put the Substance on it twice. Why did they not do that? So, because this is the Australian release, it's not the 4K yet. I know that they've got the 4K coming out from Madman in like May. This one comes with the short film Reality Plus, which is done by the same director. It is an English 5.1 and 2.0 tracks. I was comparing it to the US release because they had the 4K from Mubi, and I know the 4K has Dolby Vision and everything, and it comes with a Blu-ray disc, which is Region A. The UK didn't even get a 4K disc, which is surprising. And I know that they had one special feature, which was like a 2-minute long interview, which apparently all the review copies had a glitch, so it wouldn't actually play the interview, which is hilarious. So you basically just get the film on 4K, and that's it. I'm like, look, being in Australia, you had two options. Amazon, which had it for $60, and after I bought this, it went up to $76, and Outrun DVD, who have it for $59. So $59 for the 4K of the film, which would still look great, or $21.58 for the Blu-ray with a nice slipcover and a short film. I wanted to go with this version. Worst comes to worst, if I'm really desperate for the 4K, which it wouldn't hurt to have the 4K. It is a good-looking film. When the Madman version comes out in May, it's $36. When it eventually comes out, and I imagine there'll be a sale on, I might pick that up as well. If they confirm that that has a Blu-ray disc in it outside of just a 4K, I'll definitely get it. If not, I'll debate on it. It's mostly a question of, will the Mubi 4K be better looking than the Madman 4K? And I'm not going to spend the money to buy both versions to compare, but I might buy the 4K just to have it, so I can watch that instead of the Blu-ray disc, but at least I'll have the Blu-ray disc. But nonetheless, I have the Blu-ray disc in its slipcover version right now, and that's what I wanted, because I like the artwork, I like the set design. It's nice. It's chic. So, yeah, I don't know. Figured, fuck it, let's just get it now and not have to stress about spending $40 extra, because I can either spend $40 extra for just the one from the US, or buy the Madman version when the 4K comes out, which I could probably get for maybe $32 to $28 when it's on sale. So, yeah, and I wouldn't be against that. That could be nice. Or, again, this is the cheap version I get, and in a couple months or a year's time, a boutique label picks it up, which they should have to begin with, or Mubi should have just done a better job, because holy shit, there's so many special features that were put onto YouTube instead of the Blu-ray disc, and maybe a boutique version comes out with a whole goddamn beautiful look with all these special features. I would buy that. So, see how it goes, but that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you kids next time. Ciao.